Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with my Smith & Wesson 4516-1. This is a steel frame, steel slide, steel barreled 45 ACP firearm made again by Smith & Wesson. This gun is a decocker safety version, double action, single action firearm. The magazine capacity is going to be 7+1 in the chamber. This gun was made around 1988 to 2010. With Smith & Wesson firearms, I find their model nomenclature really confusing, and I've really struggled with it. So when I got this firearm, I had to do a lot of research and found out that Lucky Gunner has an amazing guide that just kind of helps to understand their model numbering system, and I want to bring that to you guys today. So back in the mid to late 50s, Smith & Wesson they were world famous for their revolvers. The Roland Wright patent made them just the kind of the company known so much for revolvers, and they decided that they were going to start getting into the semi-automatic game, and they started coming out with the 39 and the 59. So those model numbers have a 2-digit and are often referred to as Gen 1 Smith & Wesson autoloaders. Those were their first attempt at auto loaders, and they had some reliability issues, some feed issues, and they decided that they were going to come out with a second generation of semi-automatic pistols, some auto loaders, and those had a 3-digit model number. Those numbers had like the 439, the 459, and they actually came out with a semi-auto pistol in 45, and that was called the 645. So if you see a semi-automatic Smith & Wesson pistol and the model number has 3 digits, those are often going to be called second-gen pistols, and those ran from the late 70s through the late 80s. Now this pistol is a 4516-1. We'll get to those dashes in a minute. But this is where it starts to be a little bit easier to understand. So, if your pistol has a 4-digit model number, and it begins with a 39, a 59, or a 69, those are all 9mm. If they start like this one with a 45, it's in 45 ACP. If it starts with a 40, it's going to be in 40 Smith & Wesson. And if it starts with a 10, it's going to be in 10mm. Now, when we get to the 3rd digit in the model number, this is a 4516. So the 3rd digit is a 1. That is going to tell you the size and the action type of the pistol. In this particular case, it has a 1, which makes it a compact. It's going to be a smaller pistol, and it's going to be a double action, single action pistol. Now, that doesn't mean that the only compacts have a 1 in the 3rd digit. Any gun that has a 3 or a 5 is also going to be compact pistol. The 3s will just have a frame decocker, not a decocker safety like this one has. And if it has a 5, it'll be double action only. And I've put up the kind of explanation of that on this video for you to see. And if you want to see the whole flow chart, it's at Lucky Gunner. They have an article on it. As far as the 4th digit, this is a 4516, so the 4th digit of this one is a 6, which means it's going to have a steel frame, and it's going to be a stainless finish on it. 3 or 4 is going to be alloy, 3 is stainless, 4 is black, 5 would be steel with black, 6 steel stainless, and 6 would be a steel two-tone. So that's just a little bit about the model numbers of Smith & Wessons and how those break down. So, when we get into this firearm, this is a compact pistol. It does have a long double action trigger pull. They did bob the hammer because as a compact, this will make it a little bit easier for less snagging when you're drawing the pistol or putting it back in your holster. These do have wraparound grips. Again, this is a compact size, so the 7+1 is going to be a single stack for 45s. You'll see The 39s are single stacks, the 59s are double stacks, so you'll see kind of those with the 9mm as they go there. I will tell you that the trigger reset on this gun is phenomenal. It is short, it is tactile, it is auditory, and the trigger pull is very nice, very clean, very crisp. This is a 4516-1. The original 4516s did have a lot of feeding issues. When they came out with the -1, you will actually see that the mags are not interchangeable. This one actually specifically says for Smith & Wesson M4516-1 only, not for use in any of the other 4516s. The 4516-2s, they adjusted the guide rod a little bit, and a lot of those you'll end up seeing with a black trigger and a black hammer as well. As they go along, they're supposed to be more and more reliable. As the Glock revolution came through and we really went to striker fired, you would see a few years back that these were like police trade-ins, and you would see these really inexpensive, $300 for any of the Smith first, second, or third generations. And, you know, they were police trade-ins, they had a lot of wear. This one really looks like this was probably not a police trade-in just from the condition that it's in. These have really increased in value a lot, as with so many surplus pistols. Once the surplus runs out, the prices really start going up. Now, this is a bear when it comes to the overall weight. This gun comes in a whopping 34 ounces. This is going to be 5 inches in height, 7.75 inches in length. Barrel length is going to be 3 3/4. This is going to be a hefty gun. This was really designed for like detectives to carry. It was designed to really give you another option other than a compact 1911 with a double action, single action. It was not designed to be a super deep concealment gun. This is really designed for somebody that's going to be carrying this as part of their profession. What does it fit in for now? I think these are cool looking guns. I like the stainless feature of them. They do feel really good in the hand because they're that single stack. It is, the battery of arms is definitely useful. They definitely worked diligently to make a really nice trigger on this gun. I'm excited to get this thing to the range. As far as field strip, disassembly, reassembly, you want to, of course, make sure that the gun is clear. You're going to go ahead and move to the disassembly notch, which is right here. Put that puppy on safe. Now, you've got two options to come across here and use your mag to try to get that down. It wants to slip off a little bit. I guess it would help if I really got it right on the notch. Slipped a little bit more again. There you go. Then you just go ahead, rotate that down to about 6 o'clock, and then from there you can just wiggle it out. As you go back down light, the hammer will drop because the safety is on. This will kind of hold it in place. At that point, you can take it off of safe, and then the gun disassembles. On the 4516-1s, they are not going to have a captive recoil spring. That is one of the upgrades they did on the -2. What you'd expect from Smith & Wesson: really good machining, good barrel, polished feed ramp, good rifling. You will see that these are drop safe. There is the drop safe plunger right here, and that will go right there. One of the cool things, it is a drop safe safety, so when you put the safety on, it actually moves the firing pin out of engagement. So if something had a catastrophic failure and the hammer happened to drop, it would not go off. Good firearm, adjustable rear sight. You could get an adjustable dovetail on the front. Just well-constructed pistol for sure. This has a pretty stout spring on it, and there's not much of a ledge right here on the barrel. So you do have to be careful when you reassemble this to make sure you really get it on that lip. There you go. And it'll go on there. You'll feel it when it gets done. But if you miss it a little bit, it will shoot off across the room. One of the things I don't like about the Smith as far as the reassembly, they have the ejector here, and they have, you can see it right here, there are like 3 different things that you have to put down. The First one's pretty simple. Second one's not too bad. You just have to push those down. As far as the third one, again, I have bought a set of dental picks. I'm not gonna lie to you, I love them. I don't know how I ever did gun stuff before dental picks, so if you ever get a chance, they're not that expensive on Amazon. I would definitely recommend getting a set of dental picks. It's not that this is hard, it's that there's not much room left when the hammer is up like that, which is what you have to have. Let me see if I move it over, if that'll make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. And you just kind of need to push this down, and once you get it in, and it's really hard to see on camera, but if you just push this down, I come back up again. And then that other one wants to pop up. So just takes a little bit of finagling and you'll get it. It's not that hard. But you can see this is not as simple as maybe a Glock would be or a SIG 200 series. Not ideal, but you can get her on there. She'll get there. There we go. I think that one's done. There it is. It goes in. Now it's ready to go. You're going to end up with the same type of situation where you're going to want to get to that opening up. I put the safety back on, and then you just rotate it in. There is a detent. It's not quite as bad as a 1911. There is a trigger disconnect safety on this particular gun, so it will be dead whether you have the safety on or not. Without that magazine in, it will lock open, and then you go ahead and check, and you've got your gun reassembled. Again, a solid firearm produced by Smith & Wesson. Excited to get this to the range and see how she performs. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the bucket. All the likes, all the shares, all the comments are really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube. Little baby bucket, do you want to live in California?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not a compliment.